Coming up, we're one day away from the high school football season starting. We'll talk college football, all that and more here on Southern Sports Now. Welcome in on this Wednesday. It is August the 23rd, 2023. I'm Chase Robinson. So glad you're joining us today as we get you ready for high school and college football here on the show today. As we're getting so close to football kicking off. We got high school football this weekend. We got college football with Jax State playing this weekend in week 0. So we're going to dive into all of that as we move through the show today. So sit back and enjoy whether you're watching on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel or the East Alabama Now Facebook page. Go ahead and share it with your friends. Subscribe, like the page, and spread the word about Southern Sports Now because we're going to have you covered every single day all football season long. But as always, we'll start out with our countdowns to football. There you go, our countdown to college football. We are 3 days away from the college football season. Exciting stuff there. 3 days until Jacksonville State takes the field as they host UTEP in their season opener. Historic day there as it will be the FBS opener, Conference USA opener. But regardless, 3 days away from the college football season and several other games happening that day, including an SEC game. You got Vanderbilt playing coming up on Saturday as Hawaii will come up to Nashville to take on the Commodores. Several other games happening as well, but we'll have our eye on the Jacksonville State UTEP game coming up on Saturday. Countdown to high school football. Folks, here we are. We are 1 day away from the high school football season. That's exciting there. We've been counting down since June the 1st. We were, I believe, in the 80s and have worked our way all the way down. But we are 1 day away from the high school football season. And we're going to dive into much more high school football as we move through the show. But there you see it, 1 day away from the high school football season. So very excited there. Maybe you want to catch a game tomorrow or Friday. Let's look at our games happening in this area. There you see Thursday night games. You got several there. Sacs taking the trip to Ohatchee to open up the season. Etowah was on the road at Springville to start the season. That game has actually been pushed back to 8 o'clock. And you got Coosa Christian at Geraldine happening Thursday as well. The Etowah-Springville, the only Thursday game in our area, being moved at this point. Coming up on Friday night, you got Alexandria making the trip to Cherokee County to take on the defending Class 4A runner-up team there in the Cherokee County Warriors. Got I like this Calhoun County matchup here. Anniston hosting Welborn to start the 2023 season off. That should be a great game there at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium. The Ken Kofer era at Weaver will begin there on Friday night as Weaver makes the trip to Donahoe. You've got Jacksonville heading up to Boaz. Jacksonville Christian will host their first home game as Tuscaloosa Christian comes into Jacksonville. Also, Lincoln will be at Talladega. You've got Munford hosting Childersburg. Oxford taking the trip over to McCalla, Alabama to take on the McAdory Yellow Jackets. So you get the Yellow Jackets and the Yellow Jackets there. White Plains making the trip to Ranburne to start the season. Southside Panthers on the road at Guntersville. And you've got Spring Garden starting the Barrett Ragsdale era there at Spring Garden on the road at Sand Rock. So those are all of our East Alabama teams in action this week, and of course more teams will be added to that list coming up next week as not all teams are playing here in week 0. A lot of teams will wait till begin the season next week for week 1, but we'll give you a full list every week of the games. And I know a lot of folks, whether you're supporting a team or not, you just like to go watch a high school football game. So there's plenty of them to watch coming up this week and as we get the season rolling. And we'll give you all the information you need all throughout the week to get you ready for football Friday nights. And so we've got more high school football to dive into coming up. We'll have our final team preview coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll look at some numbers heading into the high school football season, if you're into that. We'll have that coming up. We'll talk Jax State football and more as we roll on here on this Wednesday, getting you ready for football season here on Southern Sports Now.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
We're back here on Southern Sports Now. I'm Chase Robinson. Glad you're joining us today. We told you at the top of the show we are 1 day away from the high school football season. Tomorrow, Thursday, August 24th, high school football will kick off across the state of Alabama. Several games happening here in this area, but of course a lot of games happening on Friday night involving our East Alabama teams. But we've been previewing teams really for the last month, getting ready for the high school football season. And we have our final team preview today with the Piedmont Bulldogs. Head coach Jonathan Miller and has made the move from Sacs to Piedmont and will lead the Bulldogs this year after Steve Smith departed in the offseason for Westbrook Christian. And so it's kind of a new era at Piedmont with Jonathan Miller leading the team. But you'll still see really good football regardless there at Piedmont. And one thing Coach Miller told me at Calhoun County Football Media Day, kind of what he's looking for out of this Piedmont team is kind of leadership from the offensive and defensive lines. And he sees that could be very important heading into this season.
If you look at good football teams that are successful year in and year out, they're good up front. So we want to keep that tradition going at Piedmont, and a lot of new starters, especially on the O-line. We got some D linemen back. I think the D-line will be a strength of our team, and I hope the O-line follows suit, and I think they have the opportunity to. We got some size and some guys that are older that maybe not have played a whole lot before, but I think they're ready to take the next step.
So everybody who keeps up with high school football in the state of Alabama knows the name Jack Hayes. He's been the quarterback at Piedmont, has led him to a couple of state championships. He's broken just about every quarterback record in the state of Alabama. So you know that name. You know that he has been that guy at Piedmont, the leader of the offense and really the leader of the team there at Piedmont. He graduated in May. So Piedmont is now turning to a new quarterback in Cole Wilson, left-handed guy, really dynamic from what I saw this summer at 7-on-7s. But so far, just as Coach Miller has gotten in there to Piedmont, gotten to know Wilson and watched him compete and watched him in workouts, he really likes what he's seen from his new quarterback this year.
Cole's a guy that can throw the football extremely well. He can make all the throws. he just needs experience. That's the big thing for him. He's not a between the tackles runner like Jack was. You know, you don't have very many of those at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
But Cole's a capable runner, but he's going to make his mark throwing the football. He's got to learn to make, great decisions for us. But I think he's got a lot of ability, and I think he can have a big year for us.
So let's take a look at the Piedmont Bulldogs schedule for 2023. So they will have a jamboree game this Friday night. They're going to go to Fife for a jamboree game. That should be a fantastic game there, just in the jamboree there with Fife. They will officially begin the season September the 1st for week 1 as they host Cherokee County. So that will be a fantastic matchup for Piedmont there as they host Cherokee County week 1. Week 2, they'll begin region play on September the 8th as they go to Sylvania. Sylvania's got a lot of guys back, should be very good this year. September the 15th, they will travel to Plainview for a region game there. They'll come back home for a nice little home stretch. September the 22nd, they will host the Ohatchee Indians. They'll have a non-region game with Anniston on September the 28th. On October 6th, they will host Westbrook Christian back at region play. October the 13th, they will host Glencoe. They will make a road trip to Geraldine on October 20th. October 27th, they host Hoax Bluff. And November the 3rd, they will host Sylacauga. And if you look there on that schedule of regular season games, this is impressive that this kind of happened this way. There's only 3 road games. So the Piedmont Bulldogs have 7 games there at the Field of Champions in Piedmont this year. That's really unheard of. Only 3 road games. But, again, their non-region is Cherokee County, Anniston, and Sylacauga. Region, they play in a tough region there with Sylvania, Plainview, Ohatchee, Westbrook Christian, Glencoe, Geraldine, and Hoax Bluff. And so really looking forward to seeing what the Piedmont Bulldogs can do this year, especially with that tough schedule you see right there. But really looking forward to seeing what Jonathan Miller can do there with a lot of new players. They lost a lot of guys, but as you heard a minute ago, he likes what he's seeing from his offensive and defensive line. So that's a look at our team preview today of the Piedmont Bulldogs. Just as we kind of get high school football, as we usher in a new season beginning tomorrow, want to look at kind of high school football by the numbers. Some records that are happening across the state of Alabama involving some teams. And so let's look at high school football by the numbers. So in the offseason, this is a crazy number here, there was 112 coaching changes in the state of Alabama in high school football. That is a very large, very rare number there inside the high school football ranks here in the state of Alabama, but 112 coaching changes. Let's look at some winning streaks here. The longest winning streak in the state of Alabama comes from Fife, 15 games. They have a 15-game win streak, and that is the longest right now in the state of Alabama. Longest losing streak, Columbia High School. The Columbia Eagles out of Huntsville, 71-game losing streak. That's around 7 years since they have won a high school football game. But Columbia High School, the longest losing streak. Longest region win streak, American Christian with 35 straight region wins. That's impressive there for American Christian. And the longest home win streak, 17 home wins for UMS Wright down in the Mobile area. Of course, legendary coach Terry Curtis there at UMS Wright, and multiple state champions there with UMS Wright. But they have the longest home win streak with 17. Consecutive playoff appearances. Luverne has 40 consecutive playoff appearances. That's impressive there. 40 straight playoff appearances for Luverne. I mean, that's something to hang your hat on for sure. Consecutive games scoring. This is crazy to me. 306. That is from the Fife Red Devils. They have the longest win streak, 15, and they have the longest consecutive games scoring. 306 consecutive games they have scored. That is impressive, and that number right there tells you a lot about the 5 Red Devils for sure. Consecutive winning seasons. Gordo has had 30 consecutive winning seasons. That's impressive right there for Gordo. There with 30 consecutive winning seasons. So I thought those were cool numbers as we get ready for the high school football season to roll in coming up tomorrow. So really excited to see what happens this year. Maybe some new names will be on there when we look at that next year. But we'll see if some of these streaks can come to an end. A lot can happen over the next couple of months in high school football, and we'll be all over it for you here on Southern Sports Now and East Alabama Now. We'll jump to a break here. We'll come back and talk some Jacksonville State football. Gamecocks getting ready for UTEP on Saturday. We'll talk about it next.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Back here on Southern Sports Now, here on this Wednesday. We're just a couple of days out now from Jacksonville State taking the field for the 2023 season and getting their the FBS era and Conference USA era underway there for the Gamecocks. And so very excited to see what's going to happen with Jacksonville State as they hit the field on Saturday. We've been wondering who's going to be in at quarterback. A lot of folks said it'll be Zion Webb, and we've seen Logan Smothers come in at practice. He looked really good, but Rich Rod gave us the name yesterday at the press conference of who will be starting coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, Zion will probably start. I think he, as long as the week goes the way we expect, I would think Zion would. But Logan's going to play, and I think Tayshawn will be ready to play as well.
So really no surprise there. Zion Webb gets the start for Jacksonville State on Saturday, but as Coach said, we'll see Logan Smothers come in. Smothers is a very talented quarterback. He moves well. He's got a great arm, and I've seen him in practice several times, seen what he can do, and really like him. He is a shiny new piece to this Jacksonville State offense. So looking forward to see him come in the game Saturday and see what he can do. And he's provided great competition, I know, for Zion Webb there at quarterback, and Zion's provided great competition for Logan Smothers. They've worked, trying to prove themselves in the offseason, and I know they have. Tayshawn Smoot in there as well. You can't forget about him, as I'm sure he will be ready to play, as Coach said, coming on Saturday if they need him. But one thing about this game Saturday is, yes, it's just another game. But this game ushers in a new era to Jacksonville State football, being an FBS and Conference USA. And while all games are important, Coach says this one is also pretty special.
Every game is important, and any coach will tell you that. But, I think it's a new venture and a new step for us. And I'm not going to put my head in the sand and think, okay, all of a sudden we've just arrived. I mean, trust me, there is a lot of things we still have to do to be a good 1A program, a lot of things. And we're trying to, I'm the worst person as far as patience there is. So I want it all right now. I ain't got it all right now, but nobody does. I mean, no coach, or especially no coach in the transition from a 1AA to 1A is going to have it all right now, but we're getting there.
The 4:30 kickoff on Saturday. I'm super excited. I'll be there and excited to see Jacksonville State take the field as an FBS team. I've been watching Jacksonville State football going to games for a long time. Wasn't sure I would see Jacksonville State move up, but I'm super excited to get to see the first FBS game on Saturday. First time as a Conference USA team. It's a nationally televised game on CBS Sports Network. Super excited about the future of Jacksonville State football, and certainly will be excited for the game on Saturday. But if you're planning to go Saturday, if you're planning really to go to any of the home games this year at Jacksonville State, there will be some changes with all the construction going on and everything. So several things to keep in mind as you go this year. Digital programs will be available, so you'll have a chance to, and they'll be free, so you can access the program. There will be QR codes throughout the stadium, and it will take you to the Digital Game Day Information Hub, and you will be able to check out the digital program there to make it more accessible for you this year. Also, cashless concessions and new menu items. So they've got just your normal concession stand foods. They'll be adding some things. There will be food trucks there from local places. So, but they are all cashless. So if you're coming to the game, be prepared for that. Expanded end zone area because of the area under the bleachers in the east end zone of the JSU stadiums. The restrooms and concessions will not be available during this season. They've put a fence up inside that area, but that is where there will be portable climate-controlled restrooms and food trucks available for all fans there and at the home games in the area outside of the stadium, but the ones inside the stadium will not be accessible. Remember the construction zones going on. You'll notice where the new field house is being built with the new operations facility on the west side of the stadium. You cannot enter from the construction zones. You cannot go in those areas, so keep that in mind. North bleachers are under repair. And so you will notice that when you go into the stadium as well. Although the bleachers on the north side of the stadium have been removed in the first steps of the project, the entire north side will be open for general admission tickets. You'll be sitting there on the without the bleachers there. You'll be just sitting on the concrete. And parking changes. They're making parking easier for you. There are different colored lots with red, purple, and gold and blue lots that you'll be parking in. Also, student tailgating. They've kind of had to move things around because of construction going on. Student tailgating has been relocated to the quad behind Angel Hall from its former location on Dillon Field. And so you can check that out as well. So several changes going on right now there at Jacksonville State because of the ongoing construction there as they get ready for the new state-of-the-art facility that will be ready next season. But keep those things in mind as you head to the game coming up on Saturday. We'll remind you of those things more later on this week. We'll jump to a break. We'll come back, wrap up this Wednesday edition of the show next.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room, and the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
Back here on Southern Sports now as we wrap things up on this Wednesday. We're a day away from high school football, so we'll talk high school football in depth tomorrow. A few days away from Jax State kicking off on Saturday. Of course, Alabama and Auburn will begin the following Saturday there in week one of the college football season. So we'll spend a lot of time getting you ready for those games coming up next week. But really excited. Football season is here. It's upon us. And I could be more excited to bring you content each and every day. We mentioned some games are kind of moving around right now. The Champions Challenge down in Montgomery. The kickoff games put on by the AHSAA Thursday and Friday night have been pushed back to 8 o'clock. We know the Etowah-Springville game has been pushed back to 8 o'clock on Thursday as well. Those are the only local games that we've seen that have been moved, but keep an eye out again on social media for those changes, and we'll pass those along to you as we get them. But we'll let you know if game times change for sure. But tune in tomorrow. We'll talk more high school football, more college football as we get you ready for the season. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.